Hey y'all, welcome back to another Teen Book Babble. I'm Haley, and today I am going to be talking about Aces Wild, A Heist by Amanda DeWitt. Aces Wild follows Jack Shannon in his adventures to clear his mom's name with the help of his all-asexual online support group. At the end of his junior year of high school, Jack is running an underground and possibly illegal blackjack club at his private school on the East Coast. Call it a bad habit he learned from growing up on the Las Vegas Strip. But things go awry when he finds out his mom has been arrested and he's flown back to his hometown of Las Vegas. Jack's mom is the owner of one of Las Vegas's largest casinos, the Golden Age. Her old friend / current rival, Peter Carlovaro, is the owner of the Imperium Casino. He's also the reason she's been arrested and placed in jail. One quick thing to note, although this book does mention real casinos and real places in Las Vegas, the Golden Age and the Imperium are both totally fake. Anyway, so Jack is absolutely distraught that his mom is in jail. His dad and his two older sisters are both also super stressed. Jack never thought that even though his family does have ties to organized crime, that his mom would ever get caught. She was supposed to be untouchable. Now his older sister Beth is trying to handle things despite hating everything that the family casino stands for. She left as soon as she could, making her own way, refusing to touch any part of her trust fund because she wanted to work for what she had, and she was going to do it fairly and legally. But Beth gets that Jack is the youngest, and he isn't able to leave everything behind the way that she did. So while they're all struggling with what's going on with their mom, Beth lets Jack invite some friends to the Golden Age to make him feel a little better. He invites his ACE support group, which also happens to be made up of his only friends. The 5 of them have never met in person, but what better time to meet than an all-expense-paid trip to Vegas? One slight issue, though, Jack has told them a lot about himself, but he hasn't mentioned that his family's business may or may not be completely legal, that his mom is in jail, or that he's planning on asking them for help to figure out what Peter Carlovaro has against his mom that got her arrested in the first place. Once the group arrives and settles in, the planning begins. Both Jack's plan on how to tell them the truth about his life and how to go about breaking into a highly illegal, high-stakes gambling club. The group plays to each of their strengths, but will that be enough to take down the guy who's powerful enough to have bought most of the Las Vegas Strip? Guess you're going to have to read to find out. So I really enjoy the representation in this book. The cast was absolutely delightful, obviously not including Peter Carlovaro, the bad guy. It was kind of a silly heist, but in a really good way. Overall, I had a good time listening to and reading Aces Wild. I don't usually listen to audiobooks, but the narrator for this book was fantastic, so I definitely recommend listening to it if you like audiobooks. You can find Aces Wild, A Heist in print at Fountaindale and as an e-audiobook on Libby.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Marshall. I am a teen services specialist here at Fountaindale Public Library District, and today I wanted to talk to you about a very special book. It is called The Door of No Return by Kwame Alexander. So this is a middle grade book about an 11-year-old boy named Kofi who lives in Ghana in 1860 with his family and attends school. So one of his favorite things to do is to swim in the river with his brother. But his parents have a very specific rule, which is that he cannot swim in the river at night. But he and his brother forget this rule, and one day they are captured by a rival tribe and sold into slavery to the British. And from there, he is destined for a slave ship that will be sent to America. So if you want to find this book, you can find it in our collection, either in our children's section or in the Teen Vortex. So I really enjoyed this book because of a few reasons. So the first one is its unique format. So this is a book in verse, which means that it's like a very long poem. So every word is very expertly chosen, and overall it creates this really amazing emotional masterpiece. I also really loved it because of how well researched this book is. So, for example, when Kofi is captured by the British, he is held at the Gold Coast Castle, which is a real castle built by the Swedish, and it was used by various European countries. And you can now visit it today. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you can learn more about the Atlantic slave trade. I also loved how really detailed the research was. For example, at the beginning of each chapter, there is something called an Adrinka symbol. So those are various symbols used in West Africa to convey different aphorisms. So each one is used at the beginning of each chapter to allude what will happen in each chapter. And for those who are unfamiliar, there is also a glossary in the back that you can reference as well. I really loved how he used twee words and phrases that were sprinkled throughout the book, and that really also helps acclimate the reader to the culture and the language of West Africa as well. Finally, I really love this book because it is part of a larger trilogy. So the next 2 books will be published in the future, and I really look forward to what those books will be like. Finally, I really recommend this book to those who are fans of the TV show Roots. I think this would be a great segue into literature. If you want to check out this book, you can find it in our Teen Vortex or in the children's section. You can also find an ebook and e-audiobook on Access 360 and Libby as well. So thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.